Hello, my wonderful college algebra students. Welcome to Applied Learning Activity 6. I'm going to walk you through that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to open up your modules and go to the Applied Learning Activity 6. So where you normally find the learning activities down at the bottom. There it is. Make sure it's number 6. And you'll click on it, and it's going to be all about quadratics. So this lab is the quadratics lab. So you open this up, it should open up in Word, something like this. No, it's bigger so you can see it. So if you notice, you're basically going to be looking for parabolas in real life, or images from the internet, basically. And you're going to be creating equations for these parabolas. You're going to be creating them in standard form as well as vertex form. So I have a couple of examples here. Please choose your own. But the first thing you're going to do, and if you go down to the activity, it will tell you this as well, is that you're going to find a picture on the internet, save the image. Please make sure you save it. You can save it to your desktop, or you can save it to a flash drive, whatever you want to do. But make sure you save the image because you're going to need to pull it up in Desmos. And you're going to copy it into Desmos. So let me show you how to do that. So you can pick any picture that makes the shape of a parabola. So to Desmos. Show you how to do this here. I picked the McDonald's sign, but you can pick whatever you'd like, and I'm going to add the item. So to do that, you're going to go to the same place you went when we were adding in tables, but instead of adding a table, you're going to add an image, and that's why you need it saved. So I've got the McDonald's sign. All right, and you can move it around. The way you move it is the middle circle. You can move that around wherever you need to. I'm going to put mine right here. I'm going to make it a little bigger so you can see this better. Okay, and now that's part one, is just putting the image on here. So that's question one. Question two then is to plot 3 points that you know would be on the parabola. So the way you're going to plot points is basically by making a table of values. You're going to have to estimate where the points are, so it may not be exact, but do your best. So the way we create a table is, again, we're going to go up to this plus sign in the top left corner and add in a table. And you're going to pick some values that appear to be on the shape. So I'm going to try and pick the key points, maybe where I think the vertex might be. But my first point, it looks like I have a point here at 0, 0. So I'm going to go ahead and put 0, 0 as one of my points. And then it looks like this point, this is going by 2s, my scale. So it's a 2, maybe 3, comma 10.5. So I'm going to try it, and I can always adjust it once it's in. So that's not quite right. It looks like it needs to go to the right a little bit, so maybe my x should be 3.5 instead. That looks pretty decent. And then the next point, maybe I have a point over here at like 7, comma 4. Oh, that's too far, so maybe it's 6.5. That looks like it's part of my McDonald's sign. All right, so that's part two. So just plot 3 points. That's all you need to do. Okay, for part three, the first part is to insert the picture with the points and parabola. So you can screenshot it or use the snipping tool, however you've done it in the past. You're going to insert that for number 3, and then you're going to type the equation. All right, so number 3 is explaining to you how to find the equation. If you remember, we have 2 forms of an equation. We have, oh, where'd it go? There we are. We have standard form and we have vertex form. Number 3 is asking about standard form. So if you remember, standard form of a quadratic equation is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So if you think back to when we were doing lines of best fit, we're basically going to do a quadratic of best fit. So we're going to let Desmos, our calculator, figure out what the best equation is to fit those 3 points that we just put. So in order to do that, it's the same way we did it for y equals mx plus b, only instead of using y equals mx plus b, we're going to use y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. However, instead of the equal sign, you're going to use this approximately equal to symbol because that's what you use for lines of best fit and quadratics of best fit. And then instead of just x and y, we want to use the points from our table, and the points from our table were x1 and y1. So you're going to go back to Desmos and keep the table there. Below the table, you're going to type in this equation that I've laid out for you on number 3. y1 is approximately equal to ax1 squared plus bx1 plus c. And then, if you notice, it gives you the a, b, and c right there, which is so nice. So it tells you what the a should be in your equation, what the b should be in your equation, and what the c should be in my equation. So then, for number 3, I'm just going to type that equation in here after I've copied and pasted my picture. So I'm going to use a different font so you can see this, or a different color font, I guess. So when you type in your equation, don't use the x1 and y1, and now go back to an equal sign, because now you're creating the equation. So I'm going to type in y equals, hey, you were supposed to be red. Try that again. Okay. Y equals, now my a was negative 0.79. You can just go to 2 decimal places, that's fine. And then x squared, right? So you can say to the second, or you can also put the subscript however you, or the superscript however you want to do that. And then plus the b value was 5.78 for my equation. So 5.78x, right? Because after b comes just an x, no x squared. And then plus the c, plus my c was 0. So if you want to put plus 0, you can, but if it's 0, you don't really need it. So I can take that away. And that's going to be it for number 3. Now for number 4, you're going to be writing an equation for this as well, but now you're going to be writing it in vertex form. So if you remember vertex form, I have it listed actually in the primer before the activity right here. I'm going to move this to where we're at so you can see it. So if you notice, that's my vertex form. So y equals a times the quantity of x minus h squared plus k. So I need to find my a, my h, and my k and plug them in, and then I have my vertex form equation. Okay, so first thing it says is to find the vertex. Well, the vertex, you can just click on your picture and it tells me what the vertex is. Remember, the vertex is the maximum or the minimum. In this case, I have a maximum, but depending on how your parabola opens, you may have a minimum instead. So my vertex is 3.637. If you want to round to just 2, you can. I'm round to 3 because that's what they gave me. Comma 10.515. So then if you remember for vertex form, my a is going to be the same a value that I had for standard form. So that's going to be negative 0.79. And then remember that my h and my k are the x and y value for my vertex. So I'm just going to plug in the x value for h, so 3.637, and then the y value for my k, 10.515. And there's my vertex form. Now, don't forget to read the directions because it says find the vertex and tell me what it means in the context of the picture. So just tell me what the vertex represents. The vertex represents the top of my McDonald's arch. So I would put this represents the highest point in my